Kyoku, for example, has started to tell us a very funny story about mosquitoes. We got to work a lot with the impulse to kill when something, all it's doing is going and then just touching you, and then the impulse to kill immediately arises. Get rid of it. It's just like instantaneous, which is amazing. I was taking that apart and realized that if they only sucked your blood, you wouldn't mind, and even that little stingy part you wouldn't mind, but about the itching that's coming later, right? So take apart what the aversion is. If it never itched, would it bother you so much? Or if it never had that little ping, would that bother you as much? That they just land on you, because when ants land on you and crawl around, or other whatever they are in the nighttime that land on you and crawl around, if it doesn't have that noise, it doesn't evoke that intense aversion. So you really get to watch aversion with mosquitoes. And as Kyoku said, she grew up in Minnesota, where the state bird is the mosquito, so she has lots of mosquito lore and interesting stories to tell, so you can ask her at lunch. We also did artwork related to Jizo, and last I looked, the kiln was at 950 degrees, so I'm trying to cool it off so that we can bring some of those things out after lunch. I hope it'll work, but maybe not. Maybe a little after lunch. So we made a lot of Jizo statues out of clay, and they're in the kiln now, firing up. And there are many, many, many analogies to practice and firing in the kiln, which I won't go into now, but another time. But that was fun for some people, slightly terrifying for some people, but everybody got into it. In our sitting from the very first day, we connected with the earth. So to sit with the body and realize the body's connection to the earth. That the earth always, always is there. Always is there to meet us when we sit down and when we step. We just take it for granted. Of course, occasionally, it's not exactly in the place you thought it was going to be, and you stumble, but it's there. It's there supporting us. So connecting with the earth, making the body very still and very stable. And then making the mind like the sky. And sitting outdoors, sitting on the earth, with the sky above, the night sky above, that's very delicious practice. To keep the body stable and still, anchored on the earth, and then to open the mind like the sky, where the thoughts drift through once in a while, but the sky isn't disturbed by them at all. A flock of wild geese leaves no traces, is one Zen saying, meaning when the mind is open and spacious, thoughts can come through, or sensations, loud noises, fear, the emotion of fear can go through, and it goes through and then no trace is left, because the mind returns to its original state, open, bright, and spacious. So everyone had some experience of that stability linked to the earth. I always make the analogy to one of those blow-up clowns that they had as toys when I was young, that had sand in the base, and you could punch it, and it would move, but then it would always come back to a stable place. And that's what our practice does to us, in particular this practice of anchoring to the earth, to having a constant or at least intermittently sustained awareness of the earth, helps us stabilize when something knocks us over. In connecting with the earth, we also looked at times about what has come from the earth. So if everyone would do this exercise, just look around the room and see what has come from the earth. So just look at different objects and question, did this come from the earth? Look at your clothing. course our food, that's fairly easy. And then look inside your own body, of the constituents of your body, your blood, your nerves, bones, muscle, skin, hair, nails, the liquid inside your body. Did that come from the earth? But the question really becomes, can you find anything that did not come from the earth in this room or in your own body? Anybody? Anything that hasn't arisen from the earth? Yeah. When we really open to that experience, that everything that we touch, use, that shelters us, that feeds us, nourishes us, protects our body throughout the day, comes from the earth. Then our heart begins to open to how precious the earth is. I mean, we were being told this all the time. Oh, the earth is so precious, spaceship earth, have to protect it, sign this petition, send it to your congressman. We were inundated with stuff like that, and when it only goes in as far as the brain is moved to say, yes, this is important, okay, I'll do this. But it's a big difference when it connects to the heart. So that's what our practice does. It helps us open our awareness and connect, develop intimacy through the heart with this amazing earth. And what it gives, what flows forth from it all the time to support us, how we are constantly supported. So whenever we feel lonely, whenever we feel unsupported, poor me, boo-hoo-hoo, then think of the earth. Open your awareness to the earth and all that's flowing forward to you from the earth. You have to look hard to find something that didn't come from the earth. Cosmic radiation could be one that didn't come from the earth. So there are a few things you can find that came from outer space. But 99.9999% came from the earth. How about oxygen? Where did oxygen come from? Anybody know?
Trees.